Okay. So. I say that every time. So, it's like Jordan Peterson. So, one of the things. Okay. Wow, sun just got dark in here. Clouds, I guess. Anyway, I thought in this video I would talk about the non-identity problem. Or is it the non-existence problem? I don't know. I guess. Well, I want to talk about the non-identity problem, which Alex O'Connor has made a video about. Sorry, my brain. I recently watched it yesterday, actually, and it was quite interesting to me, and I had some thoughts about it, so I'm going to talk about that in this video. Anyway, so because he showed a graph in that video, which I want to pull up, but actually just right before this, I looked up the video attempting to find it, and I found a video by this hottie known as MAYY HEMM. Interesting channel name. This was uploaded 7 months ago. I have not watched this video, but why is that down so low? Oh, is it because? No, it's weird. Anyway, I'll probably watch this afterward, but I thought I would give my thoughts first and then watch this video and maybe see what she has to say. I don't know. I've just literally just found that channel, and of course the video's unavailable, so I have to try to find it on my phone. I have no idea who this chick is. I literally just saw her channel. Let me see if I can pull the graph up, because in Alex's video he showed a graph that I want to pull up here, but and I just realized you can't even see. Sorry. This chick right here who has
assumption that the answer
dyed
is
hair
no.
and looks like 2 different colored irises. I haven't watched this video, but I'll probably watch it after I finish recording this. And of course, this video is restricted because
if you weren't you, would you still be
restrictions.
You? The assumption that the
hey, kitty, you want to jump up here? Hi. Love you. Hey, oh, there you go. Careful. So yeah, but let me try to pull it up on my phone. Let's see. Okay. Yes, the non-identity problem. Sorry, this is gonna take me a while because I have to I have to find the graph first and then screenshot it and then email it to myself. Okay. I mean, I've been watching Alex O'Connor a fair bit lately. He's pretty interesting. His videos are pretty interesting, and Nick Miller has said that he's a fantastic rep for philosophy. So yeah, also I first kind of just discovered his channel when I saw one of his videos about ChatGPT, and I thought that it was funny. So okay, so he talks about IVF. But where's the graph? Let's see. Okay. And so yeah, he talks about 3 presumptions, I suppose, when it comes to morality. I guess that's the right way of thinking about it. The first one is that if something is bad, it must be bad for someone. Yeah, that's the first one. Second one is something cannot be bad for someone without making them worse off. And the third one is Cases like the mother's choice are bad. Oh, I think I see. Yeah, what he's saying. Oh yeah, it talks about teen pregnancies. It's a good video. There it is. Okay, so he's talking about, let's see here if he shows it. Let me try to screenshot this and send it to myself. Bear with me. I know 99 point. Well, I doubt more than 100 people are even going to click on this video, so over 90% of you have already clicked off by now. But whatever. Mostly make these videos for people who are bored or just like are sick of traditional YouTube videos. Okay, let me send this graph to myself. Email it. Hi, kitty. I don't know why it does that. There we go. Okay. Bell. Okay, so now let's try and pull it up here. I gotta make sure I don't show anything I don't want to show. Okay, so what the heck? Hello. It's very weird. So this is the graph. That's better. So essentially, he was in the video. Alex was talking about resources and how if we choose to conserve our resources, then our quality of life will be decent for about 200 years, and it will continually get better for the next generations. But if we choose to deplete our resources, our quality of life gets significantly better, like a decent amount better, for about 200 years. But then the next generations, it drops significantly, as you can see. The quality of life for the next generations decreases significantly. And so the question is, what should we do? So essentially the point Alex was making was that, is that a bug on my, oh, it's literally a drop of water. It was just the lighting made it look dark. Okay. I literally thought that was a fly, because I've been seeing fruit flies in here. Anyway, thankfully there's none around right now, but yeah. And so, what was I saying? I guess you would say common sense, or just intuition, I guess, or instinct would say that we should conserve our resources. That way, future generations' quality of life is better, right? That seems logical. That seems, well, not logical, I guess, but it seems like the morally correct answer. But the thing is that people 200 years from now don't yet exist. So if we deplete our resources, our quality of life goes up for a while, and then their quality of life will go down significantly. However, they don't really know that, or I mean, they probably wouldn't know. But if they did figure out that we had depleted our resources, technically they couldn't really complain, because they wouldn't exist if we hadn't made that choice. Because essentially it's that a different group of people will be born if we conserve our resources than if we deplete them. It'll be a different generation of people. And so the question is, which is the right decision? Because if we deplete our resources, then those people can't really complain, because they owe their very existence to us, and because we made that decision. And as long as their life is still worth living, then they can't really complain. So it's an interesting little problem. I've just kind of been thinking about it a bit over the past, whatever, like 20 hours or whatever, since I watched the video yesterday. Because, yeah, I mean, it's two different sets of people exist depending on the decision we make. And so, again, it's like those people, like these people, we could say, should be grateful to exist, because if we hadn't made that decision, well, they wouldn't exist. And so you kind of see how it's a tricky thing. So it's really not obvious why we shouldn't, like, once you think about it, it's not obvious why we shouldn't just deplete our resources and make our lives better, even though that seems like the wrong decision intuitively or instinctively, I guess. So it's interesting, but sorry, I'm trying to think, because I'm thinking about the whole IVF debate, which is a similar sort of thing, right? It's like if you what's it called, fertilize. I almost said sterilize. That's like the opposite. That's not the right word. If you fertilize, if you have, like, I don't know, 100 eggs or whatever, and you choose to fertilize the one that's the healthiest or the most genetically strong or whatever, some people will say, well, that's wrong, because then all those other eggs are not being fertilized. And I mean, that's true, obviously, but then the question is it wrong? Because they're eggs. They're not fully formed people that you're, like, killing. You're just not fertilizing those eggs. And so, yeah, it's a tricky thing, but sorry. I mean, what I would say, like, where my mind goes, let's go back to this graph. Hold on. That's not blocking any part of it, is it? I don't think so. Maybe, well, this says time. I don't know if you can see this right here. That's right here. But it says time, in case you can't see it. So anyway, I guess that's kind of obvious given the fact that you can see this. But anyway, so, I mean, where my mind goes is that, I mean, and this is kind of, I guess, getting religious about it, which is maybe not how this problem is supposed to be tackled or approached. But I mean, if we assume God exists, first of all, he does, so that makes sense. But, you know, not everyone believes that, or I should say not everyone knows that, or believes. I mean, some people, you know. Anyway, but if we do assume that God exists and that he sees everything we do, then, I mean, that kind of ends the discussion, at least in my mind, because then it's like, okay, well, then we should just conserve our resources, because we're making life easier for the future people, and even though they don't exist, it's like it is tricky, because even though they don't exist, and so it's almost like, it's like, how are we hurting if we deplete our resources? How are we hurting future people when they don't yet exist? But I guess you have to kind of, I don't know, maybe it's important to keep in mind that time technically doesn't exist. Maybe that's something to remember. And so if we kind of remember, it's just, I mean, time exists from our perspective, but technically it doesn't exist. And so if we just kind of remember that, then I guess that kind of changes things, because then it's like we're kind of keeping in mind that we kind of are hurting in some manner the people who will be born after 200 years, even if they don't exist now. They sort of hypothetically exist, or theoretically, or no, that's not right. Well, I don't know. I guess you would say, yeah, they hypothetically exist. Yeah, because theoretically is Sorry, trying to make sure I'm using that word right. So anyway, but yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that's one way of sort of approaching it, is keeping in mind that time doesn't technically exist. And I guess you could approach it from that angle, as opposed to making God a part of the discussion, which I do feel like is appropriate given that he does exist, whether or not people realize it. Well, a lot of people do, but whether or not some people know it or believe in him or whatever. So, but of course that, I mean, for people who are atheists, that kind of opens up another can of worms. So that's why I was saying earlier, I don't know if that's really, to me, it makes sense, but I'm a Christian, so I have to keep that in mind. I don't know. I kind of like the thought of just, like remembering that time technically doesn't exist, and it only does from our perspective. Because if we think about it in that, or if think about it sort of through that lens, then, if we keep that in mind, then it does seem like we should conserve. Here's a thought. This is kind of interesting, maybe, but it's almost like perhaps our moral intuitions. It's like we almost know morally that time technically doesn't exist, and perhaps that's an explanation for why it's our moral instinct to conserve. I don't know. That's just a thought, but because obviously, again, time does exist from our perspective, but it exists from our perspective, not like in and of itself, or exists in and of itself, something like that. I think you get what I'm saying. It's almost like space, like outer space, like all the planets and stars. Like, if we didn't have the technologies to see them or hear them or whatever, perceive them, they wouldn't really exist from our perspective, because we're just here on Earth and we can't even go, like, of course we have that technology, but if we didn't, then it's almost like they wouldn't exist. They still would, but they just wouldn't really from our perspective. They would not. We wouldn't have conversations about them. We wouldn't think about them, the planets, and because we wouldn't be able to observe them if we didn't have the technology. So I don't know. But they would still exist, but just kind of outside of our consciousness, or like collective consciousness, or whatever. So yeah, I think it's kind of a similar thing here, maybe. I don't know, but something like that. So anyway, so that's the solution to the non-identity problem. Keep in mind that time doesn't technically exist. If we do that, boom, there we go. No, well, hold on, because I need to see. I'm curious what she has to say here. I'll definitely watch this video. What is this? You're not good at predicting things. I'd like to talk to Alex one day, not necessarily about this, but maybe. First I looked up the non-existent problem. I forgot what it was called. It's called the non-identity problem. Yeah. How can an action be morally wrong if it does not make any specific person worse off? Sperm and egg combination. I don't know. I kind of feel like unsickly existence. Interesting. Yeah, I don't get that statement. That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, by definition it can't be. NIP, non-existent problem. Right, still worth living. Called Mere Edition Paradox is controversial, to say the least. Huh. I just can't think of any that hold water. Oh yeah, utilitarianism. But I mean, Alex O'Connor proved that wrong too, essentially. I mean, because of a hypothetical, which you could say, well, it's that a hypothetical being. You could say, well, that being doesn't exist, but as long as it can hypothetically exist, it disproves the premise or whatever, because you would have to apply utilitarianism if it did exist. So even if it doesn't, it still disproves the central claim or whatever, or the premise. Paradox of future individuals. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's a different name for it. Population ethics. Right. Well, that's the thing about it. Butterfly effect and chaos theory. Right. Yes. Okay. Person affecting views. Right. Is relevant. Personal identity is relevant to ethics. Repugnant conclusion. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that might be true. So anyway, I don't know. I just thought I would. Derek Parfit. Just thought I would make this video. I don't know, just kind of sharing my thoughts on it. Anyway, that's about it. God bless. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you.